Oh, my mic is on. All right, guys. Thanks, Kim. Summer of 2004. I was 14 years old, which if you're doing math means I'm 28. And I was 14, I was young and naive, and I was having a blast. And I was going to get my driver's license, because in South Dakota you can get your driver's license at 14. And so I signed up for driver's ed through my high school, just like all my classmates were doing. The only difference is a couple days into our lessons, my parents received a call from the teacher, and he was trying to convince them to have me removed from the class or have me maybe rethink whether or not I should be in driver's ed, maybe I shouldn't be on the road. And he might not be wrong, but my father told this teacher that if he wanted me to be removed from the class, then he would have to do it himself. And needless to say, the teacher never did come and remove me from the class. I never heard a word from the instructor about that. After the classroom portion of the driver's ed was over, it was time to do the actual driving portion where you got behind the wheel of a car. And I had been behind the wheel of a car before. My dad let me practice and do all sorts of crazy things with him. But this time we were split into pairs, and so it was me and my friend Nick, and we were with we were assigned to an instructor, and our instructor's name was Mr. Frankenstein. And it was kind of funny because that's not how the original Frankenstein goes. Usually Frankenstein is the one who is scary, but I'm pretty sure I scared the crap out of Mr. Frankenstein. And so it was supposed to be, I'm pretty sure it was supposed to be split 50-50, you know, we're each supposed to be driving for half the time. We'd go out maybe an hour or two, a couple days a week, and I'm pretty sure it was more of a 90-10 scenario. I know that I got to drive on lots of gravel roads, and Nick got to drive a lot in Sioux Falls, so I got most of my experience with stoplights and things like that was on my own afterwards, because I never did get that through the driver's ed program. But really, my story could end there, and it could just be about the time I scared the crap out of all the instructors. But it doesn't stop there, because in order to get your driver's license, you have to go down to the DMV. And so I get to the DMV, and that's just a whole, I mean, I could go on for 20 minutes about the time I sat in the DMV for 5 hours. But just the looks on the people's faces and the expressions. And, you know, the counters at the DMV are not made for people without arms. They are probably 7 feet tall, and you have to sign your name way up on the top. And I just put my foot up there and signed my name, and they reluctantly gave me that driver's license, and they had all these restrictions on it, and you know, I'm just in my picture, I'm beaming from ear to ear, because I'm just like, this is happening. It was great, and it doesn't end there, because then you go, I went on vacation probably 5 years ago to Florida, and I rented a car, and the gentleman on the other side of the counter actually word for word said, "I hope you're not renting one of my cars." And I sure was, and they gave me those keys, and I was out of there so fast. Times that I've been pulled over for speeding or other stupid things that I do, the policeman's face is always an interesting one. You know, they sometimes take their time to make sure that I was actually driving, and if I had my seatbelt on, and is it a stick shift? Should I be driving this? All things like that. Happens more than it should. I get pulled over a lot. Other times, you know, sometimes I get a flat tire. I'm putting a spare tire on my car, and someone will pull over, or a cop will pull up, you know, and do you need help, and all these things, and then they see that it's me, and their eyes get really huge, and they're concerned, and so that's one thing. But then when I tell them that I don't need help, actually I can change a tire myself, then their eyes get even wider, and then they have to go back to their car, and then they're like trying to take pictures over their dashboard, and trying not to, they're not leaving as quickly as they probably should. You know, I've picked up hitchhikers, which is fun. I don't recommend, but it is fun, and I think, 'cause even if they did have something planned, I'm sure I threw all their plans out the window. There's actually did that in my car. Things from running the telehandler at work, loading up people's trailers, things like that. It's just things that they didn't expect, and I probably didn't expect either. And then it goes all the way to yesterday. I am on the corner of 57th and Cliff, and my car runs out of gas. And it's like the 8th time this has happened this year. It happens all the time. AAA won't even come get me anymore. So I am on the corner of 57th and Cliff, and I have to get out and ask someone for help, and people are honking, and I know that if I get out of my car, I'm probably going to cause more accidents. And so I finally did. I got out of my car, but man, it is always interesting to see what kind of reactions I'm going to get. So I guess the moral of my story, this is turning into a sermon. I'm more like my dad than I thought. The moral of my story would be, no, I don't have arms, and yes, that is okay. Kim?